Hey everyone, you are on the cutting edge and I'm Buck Wild. Thanks for taking a few minutes to watch this video. I hope that all of you are doing well. As always, I encourage you to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Now let's get into the headlines. This first story is actually a video link on YouTube. A friend of mine sent this to me. Something strange happening to U.S. food processing plants. And the person that created the video is really graceful. It's about 10 minutes in length. I was really surprised by the amount of research that she had done, and she ties everything together very neatly. It's food for thought, and I really encourage you to watch it. From Zero Hedge, corn exceeds $8 a bushel for the first time in decades on food shortage fears. If you recall, I had mentioned in an earlier episode that President Biden was going to increase the amount of ethanol in gasoline, which of course would raise the price of corn. President Biden also said that food shortages were going to be real and we were going to see them here in the United States. Well, there you go. After watching the video link above and reading this story, I was reminded of Revelation 6 verses 6, and I encourage you to take a look at that for yourself. Again from Zero Hedge, the American dream is dead. For the first time, less than half of Americans believe they'll ever own a home. Folks, I don't know how long home prices can continue to climb before they come crashing down. If you are a homeowner, I consider myself fortunate, especially as rents continue to rise. Again from Zero Hedge, Rivian is a company, I think like Tesla, that makes electric vehicles. And their CEO came out and warned of a coming EV battery supply shortage. So with all of the supply chain issues that we've been seeing around food, fertilizer, and other material goods, is it really any surprise that EV manufacturers are going to see issues getting the materials that they need to make batteries and chips for their vehicles? Well, here's a fun fact. Which country has a ton of raw materials for chips and batteries? Afghanistan. And they recently made a deal with China. Another crown jewel in Joe Biden's foreign policy folder. All right, let's lighten things up a little bit. Again, from Zero Hedge, Bill Maher asks vaccinated mask wearers if they keep the condom on after sex. Listen, when the left has lost Bill Maher, you know that they've gone off the rails. I just hope they don't take the rest of the country with them. There seems to be no shortage of people forecasting doom for the Democrats this November. But please, folks, don't take anything for granted. Get your butt out there and vote no matter what. This could be the most important midterm election in decades. From Breitbart, you may remember, I think last week's episode or the week before, I did a story about a med student who had her pronoun pin on with she, her, what have you. And she was giving an injection to a patient, and the patient kind of looked at the pin and joked, what else would there be? Of course, she, her, because it was a female that was giving her the shot. Well, the med student got irritated and deliberately screwed up the injection so that she would have to stick the patient twice. And then she went and tweeted about it on Twitter. Well, thankfully, the school did what was right and suspended her. I don't know, I haven't read the entire story, so I don't know if it's going to keep her from graduating or not. But there should be consequences for this kind of just stupid behavior and irresponsible. Okay, last but not least, the White House has found a new way to hide the disaster that is Kamala Harris. Where is Kamala? Well, guys, if you've been around long enough, you know that Joe Biden is a gaffe factory. Every time the guy opens his mouth, they've got to be worried about, what they're going to have to walk back and how they're going to correct it. And frankly, Kamala's not much better. And they were actually probably a really good pair for each other, with the exception of the fact that this would be the person running the country if anything happens to Joe. In any case, Kamala Harris she doesn't study, she doesn't read her materials. And when she opens her mouth to talk about things, she comes across as someone that just doesn't know what she's talking about. Her chief of staff has just jumped ship, and this is now the 12th staff member on her team to look for an exit. And they're not even a year and a half into this administration. I tell you. Well, listen, folks, thank you again for taking the time to watch this video. I encourage you to ask questions and do your own research. Given everything that's going on in the world around us, I also hope that if you don't already have a relationship with Jesus Christ, you'll seek out a pastor, family member, or friend who does, and ask them for more information. That's my 2 cents, guys. Thanks for watching, and have a great evening.